All right, so you guys sent us this YouTube video transcript,
Yeah.
and it's about this quest for ultimate power
Okay.
and a weapon that could change the world.
Mm.
And just to warn everyone, it's bonkers.
You know what's interesting about this?
What?
The source itself.
Okay.
We think of YouTube as like quick laughs and tutorials,
Yeah.
but this transcript, it unfolds like an epic saga.
Seriously?
Yeah, complete with cosmic battles, shadowy figures,
Oh, wow.
more twists than a pretzel factory.
And at first glance, it's just pure chaos.
Yeah.
MrBeast is trying to build a super weapon called the Mogus Blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Tech guys are caught in the crossfire. A talking mouse who seems to know everything.
Right.
It's a lot to process.
It is.
But when you really dig in,
Yeah.
there's this surprisingly intricate web of characters,
Oh, yeah.
each with their own goals and agendas.
It's like someone took all these different tropes
Yeah.
and just mashed them together into this bizarre but compelling narrative.
So tell me about it.
You've got Mr. Beast, who's clearly obsessed with power,
Right.
but we don't really know why.
Yeah, like is it pure ambition?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is there something more driving him?
Right.
The video mentions him wanting to create Beast Nation,
Mm-hmm.
but that feels almost too straightforward, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Especially for a guy who's willing to storm LTT Studios and steal from scientists
Seriously.
to get what he wants.
Wow.
Speaking of LTT,
Yeah.
Linus and Carter,
Okay.
our tech guys in peril, just want to warn people about taking phones into the shower.
You know, it's almost comical how their everyday tech advice gets juxtaposed with this quest for a world-altering weapon.
I know.
But I think that contrast
Uh-huh.
actually highlights a key point.
Okay.
How easily ordinary people can get swept up in extraordinary events.
Totally. They become targets simply because they have something MrBeast needs.
Right.
This thing called Div's Alloy. And suddenly, they're running for their lives trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Oh.
Which brings us to the weirdest part of this whole story.
Okay.
A cosmic battle between Mogus and Monkey D. Luffy.
Right.
These characters,
Yeah.
they seem to be pulled straight from anime,
Yeah.
representing these incredibly powerful forces that are clashing on a scale we can barely comprehend.
It's crazy.
And yet, this battle ends as abruptly as it began,
Oh, no.
leaving us with more questions than answers.
Definitely.
Where did they go?
Right.
What were they fighting for?
Exactly.
How does this tie into MrBeast's quest?
The good question.
It's like the writer threw in this epic showdown just to mess with our heads.
Yeah, haha.
But it does raise the stakes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, we're dealing with forces that could potentially destroy entire worlds.
Oh, wow.
And in the middle of all this,
Yeah.
we have Mortimer Mouse,
Okay.
this mysterious figure
Mm-hmm.
who seems to know more than he's letting on.
He's like a walking encyclopedia of ancient lore and cosmic secrets.
We're able to guide Linus and Carter through this increasingly chaotic landscape.
It's wild.
But he also holds back, offering cryptic hints instead of clear answers.
I know.
Makes you wonder,
Right.
what's his agenda?
Yeah.
Is he trying to help?
Right.
Or is he manipulating events for his own purposes?
He's definitely the wild card in this whole story.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's break down MrBeast's quest for the Mogus Blaster.
Okay.
To build this thing, he needs 6 specific components.
Right.
The Judgment Core, Necron's Handle, Div's Alloy, Pooja Mandible, Shattered Locker,
Wow.
and the One Piece.
Okay.
Each one seems to be tied to a specific challenge or location,
Right.
like something out of a video game.
And the lengths he goes to obtain each piece
Yeah.
really highlight his ruthlessness. He's not just buying them.
I know.
He's battling mythical creatures, raiding secret labs, even facing off against the RNG gods themselves.
You have to wonder what's so special about this weapon that he's willing to risk everything for it.
Yeah. Well, the transcript doesn't explicitly say what the Mogus Blaster can do, but the way everyone reacts to it suggests it's something truly terrifying,
Yeah.
like world-ending levels of terrifying.
Uh-huh.
If we connect this to MrBeast's ambition,
Yeah.
it paints a pretty unsettling picture.
Yeah.
Imagine someone with that level of drive,
I know.
combined with a weapon of unimaginable power.
It's crazy.
What could his true goals be?
Exactly.
And could he even control something like that?
I don't know. You know, it's interesting. This transcript, it plays with the idea of power and control.
Okay.
You have MrBeast,
Yeah.
so focused on acquiring power, but then he's taken out just as he's about to achieve his goal.
Yeah, and the fact that this mysterious hustler just swoops in
Right.
and claims the Mogus Blaster for himself.
Exactly.
It's like MrBeast was just a pawn in a much larger game.
It raises the question,
What's that?
what kind of power vacuum did MrBeast leave behind?
Oh, it's a good question.
And was the hustler orchestrating events from the shadows all along?
Oh, like a puppet master.
Yeah, just waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Which makes you wonder about his motivations.
Right.
He says MrBeast was nothing more than a mere stepping stone.
Yeah.
But what's the final destination?
Right.
World domination seems a bit simplistic.
Yeah, I agree.
For someone with this level of cunning,
Right.
it feels like there's something more at play here.
Yeah.
Some deeper ambition that we haven't even glimpsed yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but before we get too deep into hustler theories,
Okay.
can we talk about Mortimer Mouse for a second?
Yeah.
This guy
Yeah.
seems to be the only one who truly understands what's going on.
Right.
He's got this deep knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
ancient lore, cosmic events.
Yeah.
He even knows about Mogus and Monkey D. Luffy.
He's definitely more than just a tech-savvy mouse.
Right.
It's like he's operating on a different level of awareness,
Okay.
able to perceive things that others miss. And the way he guides Linus and Carter.
So frustrating. He drops these cryptic hints and warnings,
I know.
but never fully reveals what he knows.
It's like, what's going on?
Right.
He's trying to nudge them in the right direction
Yeah.
without interfering directly.
Which is an interesting approach.
Yeah,
It suggests a respect for free will,
it does.
even when the fate of the world might be at stake.
But wouldn't it be easier to just tell them what's going on?
Seriously.
Maybe save everyone a lot of trouble?
Right.
Perhaps.
Okay.
But maybe there's a reason for his reticence.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe certain knowledge is too dangerous.
Okay.
Or maybe he's bound by some ancient code
Right.
that prevents him from interfering directly.
Okay, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
It adds another layer of intrigue to his character.
Jeff? No.
He's like the Gandalf of this whole story.
Right.
Wise and powerful, but operating under his own mysterious set of rules.
And it makes his role even more pivotal.
Okay.
He's the keeper of secrets.
Yeah.
That could change everything.
Wow.
But whether he chooses to share those secrets is another matter entirely.
So where does this leave Linus and Carter?
I don't know.
They've gone from worrying about water-damaged phones
Right.
to facing down supervillains and cosmic entities.
Yeah.
Talk about a crash course in the true nature of power.
Their journey has been incredible, hasn't it?
It has.
They've witnessed events that would shatter most people's understanding of reality.
Yeah.
And yet they've somehow managed to adapt and survive.
But they're still in a precarious position.
True.
They have this incredibly powerful weapon,
Yeah.
the Mogus Blaster,
Mm-hmm.
now in the hands of a mysterious and potentially dangerous figure.
Right.
And they have Mortimer Mouse
Yeah.
holding on to knowledge.
Uh-huh.
That might be the key to everything.
Yeah.
But refusing to fully share it.
I know.
What do you think they do next?
That's the beauty of this story.
Was it?
It leaves you with so many possibilities.
Okay.
Do they try to stop the hustler? Do they seek out Mortimer Mouse for answers? Right. Or do they try to go back to their normal lives, pretending none of this ever happened?
I honestly have no idea. Part of me wants them to team up with Mortimer Mouse and take down the hustler.
Yeah.
But another part of me thinks they should just run as far away from this whole mess as possible.
It's a tough call.
It is.
They've been through so much.
Yeah.
And they've seen firsthand the dangers of getting involved in these larger-than-life conflicts.
Oh, no.
But they also have a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
A desire to protect the world from the kind of chaos that MrBeast and the Hustler represent.
It's a classic hero's dilemma, isn't it?
It is.
Do they answer the call to adventure,
Right.
knowing the risks involved?
Yeah.
Or do they choose the safety of anonymity,
Right.
hoping someone else will step up to the challenge?
And I think that's a question we all face in our own lives.
Usually.
Even if the stakes aren't quite as high.
Yeah.
Do we stay silent in the face of injustice? Or do we speak out, knowing that it might cost us something?
Wow. This deep dive has taken us down some unexpected paths.
It has.
We started with a YouTube video transcript,
Yeah.
and now we're talking about free will, the nature of power, and the responsibility that comes with knowledge.
It's a reminder that even the most seemingly insignificant sources can contain hidden depths,
It's crazy.
prompting us to think about the world in new and unexpected ways.
And the fact that this story originated on YouTube
Yeah,
is fascinating in itself.
it is.
It's a platform that's often associated with entertainment and frivolity.
Right.
But this transcript shows that it can also be a source of complex narratives
Oh, yeah.
and thought-provoking ideas.
Definitely.
It's a reminder that stories can come from anywhere,
For sure.
and that sometimes the most unlikely sources can lead us to the most profound insights.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts? If you were in Linus and Carter's shoes, what would you do?
This is where the deep dive gets really interesting.
Why?
We've explored the story, analyzed the characters,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're inviting you, the listener,
Yeah,
to join the conversation.
I love that.
We want to hear your theories,
Okay.
your predictions, your hopes and fears for the fate of these characters and the world they inhabit.
That's awesome.
Because ultimately, the most engaging stories
Yeah,
are the ones that spark our imaginations
I agree.
and leave us pondering the possibilities long after they've ended.
It's wild to think this whole thing
Yeah.
started with a simple warning
Right.
about taking phones into the shower.
Uh-huh.
Now Linus and Carter are caught in this web of cosmic conspiracies and world-altering weapons.
It's crazy.
Their journey.
Yeah.
It's a great example of how quickly the ordinary can become extraordinary.
I know.
One minute you're giving tech advice, the next you're facing down supervillains.
Seriously.
Really makes you think about the choices we make
Yeah.
and how they can lead us down unexpected paths.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of choices, we still haven't addressed the biggest one facing Linus and Carter.
What's that?
What should they do now?
That's a good question.
They could try to take on the Hustler,
Yeah.
but do they even stand a chance
I don't know.
against someone who casually brushed aside MrBeast?
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely.
And even if they could defeat him,
Yeah.
what then?
Right.
Would they be willing to wield that kind of power themselves?
Good point.
The Mogus Blaster
Uh-huh.
seems like the kind of weapon that corrupts anyone who tries to control it.
Yeah, this transcript doesn't shy away from the dangers of power,
Okay.
both in terms of its corrupting influence
Yeah.
and the unintended consequences it can unleash.
Like, even if MrBeast had succeeded in creating Beast Nation,
Right.
would it have been the utopia he envisioned?
Exactly.
Or would it have just been another form of tyranny?
Right.
It makes you wonder if the pursuit of ultimate power
Yeah.
is always a recipe for disaster.
It really does.
Maybe true strength lies in something else entirely.
Wisdom,
Yeah.
compassion,
Right.
or the courage to resist those who seek to dominate others.
That brings us back to Mortimer Mouse.
Right.
He seems to embody those qualities,
Yeah.
but he's also chosen to remain on the sidelines,
I know.
offering guidance but never directly intervening. Is that the right approach?
I don't know.
It's a tough question.
It is.
On the one hand,
Yeah.
his non-interference allows others to make their own choices,
Okay.
to learn from their mistakes and grow.
Okay.
But on the other hand,
Yeah.
his inaction could have devastating consequences if the Hustler isn't stopped.
It's like he's walking this tightrope
Yeah,
between preserving free will
right.
and protecting the world from harm.
Exactly. No easy answer.
It's tough.
Makes his character all the more compelling.
And it highlights a theme that runs throughout this transcript.
What's that?
The tension between knowledge and action.
Okay.
Mortimer has the knowledge to potentially change the course of events.
But he chooses to hold back.
Yeah.
Linus and Carter are gaining knowledge about the true nature of the world,
Right.
but they're still figuring out how to act on that knowledge.
I see.
And we, the audience, are left with the knowledge of this incredible story,
Yeah.
but we're also left with the responsibility to decide what it means to us. Do we simply enjoy it as entertainment?
Yeah.
Or do we let it spark a deeper conversation about the challenges we face in our own lives?
You know, this deep dive
Yeah.
has been a journey, hasn't it?
It has.
We started with a seemingly silly YouTube transcript
Uh-huh.
and ended up exploring profound questions about power, responsibility, and the choices we make in a world that's constantly changing.
It's pretty crazy.
It's a reminder that stories can come from anywhere,
Yeah,
and they have the power to connect us, challenge us, and inspire us.
it's amazing.
So as we wrap up this episode,
Okay.
we want to leave you with one final thought.
What's that?
What story will you choose to tell?
Oh, wow.
What impact will you make on the world?
Because ultimately, we're all authors of our own lives.
Right.
We have the power to choose our paths, to face our challenges,
Yeah.
and to make a difference no matter how small.
And sometimes,
Yeah,
all it takes is a single story, a spark of inspiration
right.
to set us on that journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep telling your stories.